Welcome to the P.C Wild Mystery channel. I am Dr. P. Today, we go beyond the surface to uncover the hidden origin of the planet's most resilient survivors. Reptiles have walked the Earth for over 300 million years. They are biological masterpieces of survival, but their story began in the shadows of a world very different from our own. To find their ancestors, we must travel back to the Carboniferous period, 340 million years ago. A time when the atmosphere was thick with oxygen and giant insects ruled the air. In this world, amphibians were the pioneers, but they were shackled. They were like biological divers, forever needing to return to their private pond to reproduce. Their soft, unprotected eggs would dry out and die if left in the air. This limited their conquest of the land. They were trapped by their own biology. Then came a revolution, the amniotic egg. It was a self-contained life support system, a private portable pond encased in a leathery shell. New discoveries, like the lizard-like Westlothiana from Scotland, show that the ancestors of reptiles were already exploring the land far earlier than we once thought. Recent research suggests these early pioneers may have protected their young inside their bodies for longer periods. This internal protection was a stepping stone to the hard shell. By 318 million years ago, we find Hylonomus. It was small, only 20 centimeters long, but it was a master of its environment, hunting early insects with speed and precision. From these early beginnings, the family tree split. One branch, the synapsids, would eventually lead to mammals. The other, the sauropsids, became the true reptiles we know today. The sauropsids were built for the heat. Their tough scales protected them from the sun, allowing them to thrive in the dry interior of the supercontinent, Pangaea. Their secret was in their skull. Diapsids, like modern lizards and snakes, evolved two holes behind their eye. This provided space for larger, more powerful jaw muscles to develop. For millions of years, the proto-mammals, the synapsids, dominated the land. But a cataclysmic event was about to reset the world for the reptiles. 252 million years ago, the Great Dying occurred. Massive volcanic eruptions caused the worst extinction in history, wiping out 70% of land animals. The proto-mammals were devastated, leaving the world empty. But where others saw death, the resilient reptiles found opportunity. They were built to survive the heat. As the Triassic period began, the reptiles didn't just survive, they thrived. Rapid climate fluctuations actually accelerated their evolution, leading to the Triassic takeover. From this chaos rose the archosaurs, the ruling reptiles. These ancestors would eventually give rise to the most legendary creatures in history, the dinosaurs. A key secret to their dominance was their stance. Instead of sprawling to the sides, they tucked their legs directly under their bodies, allowing them to grow larger and move faster. While some ruled the land, others returned to the oceans. Ichthyosaurs evolved streamlined, dolphin-like bodies and became the apex predators of the Triassic seas. Reptiles even mastered the air. Pterosaurs became the first vertebrates to achieve powered flight, ruling the skies for over 100 million years. For the entire Mesozoic era, reptiles were the undisputed masters of the planet, occupying every niche from the deepest oceans to the highest clouds. But 66 million years ago, a fire from the sky brought this golden age to a violent end. The non-avian dinosaurs vanished, but the reptilian story was far from over. Today, we uncover the story of those who remained and the biological secrets that allowed them to conquer the modern world. 66 million years ago, the Earth was a graveyard. The asteroid impact caused global wildfires and a nuclear winter that lasted for years. Most large animals perished, but the story of reptiles was just beginning its most sophisticated chapter. Beneath the water, a survivor waited. Crocodilians were built for this crisis. Their slow metabolism allowed them to go for months without a single meal, waiting for the world to return to life. Living in freshwater rivers and swamps provided a shield. While the oceans were devastated by acid rain, these hidden refugees allowed the ancient crocodiles to endure the harshest conditions in Earth's history. Turtles were another masterpiece of resilience. Over 80% of turtle species survived. Their ability to burrow into the earth or retreat into water saved them from the initial heat pulse. Ancient turtle lineages, dating back to before the dinosaurs, proved that slow and steady wins the race. Their shells were biological bunkers that have protected them for over 200 million years. Size was a critical advantage. Small lizards and snakes could hide in cracks and crevices, surviving on the few insects and seeds that remained in the ashes of the old world. Recent research in 2025 has identified the night lizard as a rare survivor that lived close to the impact zone. These tiny creatures held the future of their entire lineage in their hands. Within 10 million years, reptiles rebounded. They filled the empty niches left by the dinosaurs, beginning an era of spectacular biological innovation. This period saw the rise of snakes. By losing their legs, they became the ultimate stealth hunters, capable of pursuing prey into the most inaccessible places on Earth. Within 10 million years of the impact, reptiles rebounded. They filled the empty ecological niches left behind by the fallen giants, beginning a new era of diversification. This period saw the spectacular rise of snakes. By losing their legs, they became the ultimate stealth hunters, capable of pursuing prey into the most inaccessible places. They also evolved chemical weapons. Complex venoms allowed snakes to take down prey much larger than themselves, making them one of the most successful predators on Earth. We once thought venom evolved many times, but the discovery of the Toxicophora clade shows that snakes, monitor lizards, and iguanas share a common venomous ancestor from 200 million years ago. Through a process called neo-functionalization, reptiles repurposed ordinary genes into complex toxins. This allowed them to develop surgical precision in their hunting strategies. From the three-finger toxins of cobras to the tissue-destroying metalloproteinases of vipers, reptile venom is a complex chemical cocktail, fine-tuned over millions of years for specific prey. On remote islands, the Komodo dragon remains a living shadow of the predatory giants that once ruled. They are masters of both physical power and chemical warfare. One of their greatest secrets is hidden inside their lungs. Unlike mammals, many reptiles use unidirectional airflow, a system so efficient it was once thought unique to birds. Using aerodynamic valving, air flows in one direction during both inhalation and exhalation. This system likely evolved 250 million years ago to survive low oxygen environments. This respiratory breakthrough allowed reptiles to endure where others suffocated, enabling them to dominate the low-oxygen world of the early Mesozoic era. Crocodilians are the most socially complex reptiles. They establish rigid hierarchies and even recognize their neighbors, allowing large groups to live together in peace. They are even capable of cooperative hunting and tool use. Some have been observed placing sticks on their snouts to lure nesting birds, a level of intelligence that rivals many mammals. Their parental care is unprecedented. Mother crocodiles stay by their nests for up to 100 days, fiercely defending their unborn young against any threat. When the hatchlings chirp, the mother unearths the nest. Despite her massive power, she uses her mouth with incredible delicacy to carry her young safely to the water. She will guard this creche of young for weeks or even months, proving that these ancient giants possess a devoted social side that is rarely seen in the wild. Discovery never stops. In 2026, researchers in Ethiopia identified Crocodilus lucivinata, a new species of ancient crocodile that rewrites our understanding of their migration. This find shows how these resilient giants adapted to the changing environments of ancient Africa millions of years ago. In South America, genetic studies in 2026 have redefined the Caimaninae lineage, uncovering the hidden links between modern survivors and their prehistoric past. And then there is the tuatara, a living link to the Triassic. This rare reptile has a lineage that predates many dinosaurs, remaining virtually unchanged for millions of years. The tuatara possesses a third eye on its head to sense light cycles, a mysterious biological trait from a long-lost age that still functions today. Today, with over 10,000 species, reptiles are found on every continent except Antarctica. They have conquered every environment, from the deep oceans to the high clouds. They are living links to a prehistoric past. When we look into the eye of a reptile, we are looking back through hundreds of millions of years of evolutionary history. With modern technology, we are finally reading the secrets in their DNA, uncovering the full magnitude of their journey from the first amniotic egg. The story of reptiles is not just about the past. It is an ongoing mystery that continues to reveal the incredible resilience and complexity of life itself. Today, we conclude our journey by looking at the incredible biological engineering of modern reptiles and their uncertain future. In the forests of Madagascar, chameleons perform a feat of biological engineering that was a mystery for centuries. They change color, not with pigments, but with nanotechnology. Their skin contains layers of guanine nanocrystals called S. iridophores. By stretching or relaxing their skin, chameleons tune the distance between these crystals, changing the wavelength of light they reflect. When the lattice is tight, it reflects blue. When it expands, it reflects yellow or red. It is active, conscious tuning of light itself. Beneath this signaling layer lies a second, deeper shield of larger crystals. These reflect near-infrared light, acting as a passive thermal barrier against the scorching tropical sun. New species found in 2023, like the Laotian karst dragon, use these same principles to become ghosts against the limestone of their homelands. Their skin is a masterpiece of concealment. From the humidity of the jungle to the absolute dryness of the desert, reptiles are the masters of the extremes. Here, survival is about being an evader. The Mojave Desert tortoise is a microhabitat engineer. It digs burrows nearly 40 feet long, shared sanctuaries that provide stable temperatures and vital humidity away from the sun. These tortoises can store over 40% of their body weight in their bladder, a biological internal canteen that keeps them alive through months of lethal drought. They also master time. When the summer heat becomes too much, many species shift their entire lives, becoming nocturnal to hunt and move under the cool safety of the moon. Their sensory world is equally advanced. With the Jacobson's organ, snakes and monitor lizards literally taste the air, picking up chemical signatures to track prey with terrifying accuracy. Pythons and pit vipers possess infrared sensing pits. These allow them to see the heat of their prey, creating a thermal map of the world that works even in total darkness. While some went deep into the earth, others went deep into the abyss. The leatherback is the deepest diving reptile, recorded plunging 4,000 feet into the cold dark. At those depths, the pressure is immense. The leatherback survives because of its collapsible lungs and flexible rubbery shell, preventing the deadly bends that would kill a mammal. They store their oxygen in their blood and muscles, not their lungs. With massive concentrations of hemoglobin, they can remain submerged for over 80 minutes, hunting the deep. To survive the freezing deep, they use countercurrent heat exchange in their flippers. Warm blood leaving the core keeps the heart beating even in water near the freezing point. Crocodilians possess the most sophisticated heart in the animal kingdom. Unlike other reptiles, they have a 4-chambered heart that can shunt blood away from the lungs when they dive. Using a unique valve called the foramen of Panizza, they can control exactly where their oxygenated blood goes, allowing them to remain underwater for hours as the ultimate ambush predators. But as of 2026, these ancient survivors face a crisis they cannot out-evolve. 1 in 5 reptile species is now threatened with extinction by human activity and habitat loss. Turtles and crocodilians are the most vulnerable. Over 50% of their species are at risk of disappearing, taking their millions of years of biological history with them. The gap in our knowledge is huge. 20% of reptiles remain data deficient, particularly those hidden in the deep jungles of Madagascar and the Amazon. We are losing them before we even know they exist. Climate change is a unique threat because the sex of many reptiles is determined by nest temperature. Rising heat is causing a dangerous demographic shift. We call it the sexpocalypse. In some green sea turtle populations, 99% of hatchlings are now female. Without a balance of males, these ancient lineages face a sudden, silent end. Some are fighting back in unstable ways. In 2026, research found that genetic male bearded dragons are developing as fertile females, a desperate evolutionary response to rapid warming. By 2080, we expect a massive poleward migration. Reptiles will seek refuge in northern territories as their southern homelands become uninhabitable furnaces. There is still hope. Captive breeding programs and reintroduction efforts are working to stabilize the most threatened populations, buying time for these ancient giants. Discoveries like the 289-million-year-old skin found in Oklahoma confirm that reptilian engineering is timeless. Their scales have worked since the first conquest of land. They are living links to a prehistoric past. When we look at a reptile, we are seeing a lineage that has survived asteroids, volcanoes, and the shifting of the world itself. Today, we are finally reading the secrets written in their DNA, uncovering the full magnitude of their 300-million-year journey from the first amniotic egg. But this history is ours to protect. If we do not act now to slow the changing climate and preserve their habitats, we will lose one of nature's greatest masterpieces. The story of reptiles is the story of life itself, resilient, adaptable, and full of mystery. Today, we meet the absolute titans of the modern world, the global super predators. This is the final chapter of our odyssey. The saltwater crocodile is the undisputed champion of mechanical power. With a bite force of 3,700 pounds per square inch, it is a living force-generating machine. Research led by Professor Gregory Erickson has established that this power is tied directly to body mass. Their design is so perfect, it has remained unchanged for 85 million years. When we scale these figures to extinct relatives like Deinosuchus, scientists estimate forces as high as 23,000 psi, a pressure that would dwarf a T-Rex. Their primary tactic is the death roll. By using their entire body weight to spin, they generate centrifugal force that can dismember even the largest prey in seconds. While snouts vary, the core physics remain the same. This raw power is supported by a reinforced skeleton and massive jaw-closing muscles. But these reptiles are more than just physical machines. They possess a surprising cognitive depth. As of 2026, researchers have documented higher-order intelligence in crocodilians. They are among the few animals on Earth known to use tools. During bird nesting season, they balance sticks on their snouts. They wait for birds seeking material to approach, timing their lure to the specific seasonal behavior of their prey. They even use social coordination. Observations have revealed diversionary tactics, where one crocodile creates a distraction while its partner attempts a flanking maneuver. Recent studies on juveniles have proven their ability for second-order conditioning, associating complex stimuli with food, a level of learning once thought limited to mammals. On land, the Komodo dragon is the undisputed apex predator. Once thought to be solitary scavengers, we now know they possess a rigid and complex social structure. When congregating at carcasses, they follow a strict feeding order. The largest males feed first, while subadults often wait in nearby trees to avoid conflict. A 2026 behavioral catalog has identified 23 distinct behaviors, including complex signals used to maintain their hierarchies without constant physical combat. They use investigative displays to assess their surroundings and each other, showcasing a level of social awareness that is rare among reptiles. Agonistic signaling allows them to resolve disputes through posture and vocalizations, preserving their energy for the hunt. Despite their bulk, these dragons are ambush masters, reaching speeds of 20 kilometers per hour. They deliver a grip and rip bite with surgical precision. Their secret weapon is venom. Unlike septic bacteria, their complex glands produce toxins that prevent blood clotting, sending prey into instant shock. Using their highly specialized forked tongues, they can taste the air, detecting a wounded animal from nearly 10 kilometers away across the rugged terrain. Conservation is the key to their future. Success stories like the Lowense Ranger Station in 2025 have significantly reduced poaching on Komodo Island. Legal enforcement has toughened. Recent sentencing has set a significant precedent, ensuring that those who attempt to smuggle these giants face severe consequences. 2026 research is pivoting toward future-proofing their habitats, using simulations to ensure that tourism and infrastructure do not destroy their ancient homelands. The recovery of the American alligator and the saltwater crocodile are models of success, managed through sustainable harvesting and regulated tourism. Community programs are teaching residents to be crocodile-wise, recognizing the territorial signs of these intelligent giants to live safely alongside them. By 2026, GPS collars and population genetics are ensuring that even as habitats shrink, the genetic diversity of these super predators remains robust. This monitoring prevents the island effect of inbreeding, protecting the evolutionary health of the lineage for the next million years. The survival of these ancient reptiles depends on our respect for their minds as much as their power. They are the ultimate legacy of the Mesozoic. From the first amniotic egg to the global super predators of today, the story of reptiles is the story of life itself, resilient, adaptable, and full of mystery. Saltwater crocodiles possess specialized glands on their tongues to excrete excess salt, allowing them to thrive in the harsh coastal environments where others perish. During the breeding season, crocodiles produce infrasonic bellows that vibrate the water around them, a subaudible physical display of power and territorial dominance. Young Komodo dragons spend their first few years living in trees to evade the cannibalistic tendencies of larger adults, showing a remarkable instinct for survival from birth. Working with local communities is vital. Education programs in Indonesia and Australia are turning former conflicts into coexistence through respect and scientific understanding. High-tech mapping of Flores Island allows scientists to simulate future climate scenarios, ensuring that we preserve the specific thermal niches these dragons need to survive until 2050. The future of these super predators lies in genetic rescue. By monitoring DNA, we can ensure the evolutionary resilience of these titans for generations to come. Thank you for joining me on this 20-minute exploration of the history of reptiles. I am Dr. P, and I hope this journey has inspired your own sense of wonder. Please like, share, and subscribe to the P.C Wild Mystery channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a discovery. Keep exploring the wild mysteries.